Hi everyone, and welcome to our fourth week of online learning here with science. We are moving on from space and into weather. So here's one of our here's our joke of the day as usual. How do hurricanes see? With one eye. Get it? Because there is one eye in a hurricane. Okay, so you're due now. Right, take 2 minutes. You can pause the video if you need to. I'll keep going. Write down everything you think you know about weather and weather maps on a piece of paper to get your brain going. So, your standard for today, TEKS 4.8a, the student is expected to measure and record changes in weather and make predictions using weather maps, weather symbols, and a map key. So today we're really going to be focusing on the measure and recording part. So the objective of today's lesson is the learner will measure and record changes in weather, so clap for thunder, then the rain, by creating a week-long weather log. So your assignment for today, which we'll explain later, is you're going to record and observe weather for this whole entire week. First, we're going to go over vocabulary. Weather is the current condition of the air outdoors, such as temperature, cloud cover, wind speed, and rainfall. As compared to climate, climate is the average weather conditions for a region year after year. So, the weather today, for example, is about 65 and partly cloudy, partly sunny. But if we looked at the climate of North Texas for the whole year, 65 and partly sunny is not what you would get. You'd probably get 80 or 90 and sunny. Now, a prediction is a statement about what you think will happen based on what you know already. So people, what meteorologists, the people who predict the weather for us, they use models, weather models that make predictions about what weather will happen in specific geographic locations based on what that model already knows about the climate of the area and then what other weather patterns are happening. So a warm front is the boundary where a warm air mass replaces a cool air mass. Opposite is a cold front, which is the boundary where a cold air mass replaces a warm air mass. Now here are the tools that we use to measure weather. There are three. The first is a wind vane. It's a tool that shows the direction of the wind. Then this should look familiar to you guys, a thermometer. It's a tool that measures the temperature. Then 3, we have a rain gauge, which is a tool that measures the amount of rainfall. Now, we are going to watch a content connections video. As I play it, fill out the 4.8a content connections worksheet found in Google Classroom.
Staying inside is not what we had in mind to do today.
It was sunny all week long, so I didn't see this coming. The weather report said it might do this to me.
I guess I should check the weather report more often. How do weather people know about this stuff before it happens anyway?
I wonder if we can make a weather prediction like they do.
Let's see what the weather person uses. They always seem to stand in front of a colorful map. Sometimes it's a map of Texas, and sometimes in a map of the United States. They're always talking about temperature, how fast the wind is blowing, and where it's coming from. They also know how much rain fell that day. If we want to predict, maybe we can start with a map like a weather person does.
Let's start with Texas and mark a few Texas cities.
What other tools does a weather person use?
I know how to measure temperature. Use a thermometer. A thermometer measures the amount of heat that is present. A weather person usually reports weather in degrees Fahrenheit, but in science class we also use Celsius because that is the worldwide unit of measure.
The next thing we need to show is how fast the wind is blowing. I think the tool we use for this is called an anemometer. Watch how it spins. How do you think this is used to measure wind speed? With your partner, describe or draw how this works to measure wind. Could you describe how the anemometer works?
Yeah, the wind pushes the cups, and I can count how many times one cup makes a rotation. The faster the wind blows, the faster you rotate. clouds.
That makes sense. Got it? Okay. The next thing that a weather person uses is to measure the amount of rainfall. I think it's called a rain gauge.
I keep one outside so I can check the rainfall each month. Let me get it. Here it is. Let's see if you can read how much rain accumulated.
Did you get 0.375 inches? Now let's go back to our map. Now that we know some of the tools a weather person uses to collect this information, I'm going to start recording each city's temperature, wind speed, wind direction, and rainfall from the past week. With a week's worth of data, I might be able to predict what the weather will be this weekend.
We can use the internet to collect the weather data for each city since we can't travel to all of them.
Well, we've collected the data for each city for the last 5 days.
We have the data table for Houston, but how can we show temperature, wind direction, and rainfall on the map?
We drew a few symbols that we can use on our map. This front line shows where air of a different temperature is moving in. The numbers are to give the actual temperature that day. This raindrop means it's raining in that city. Clouds mean it's an overcast, and the sun means it's a clear day. All of these are called weather symbols.
Here's day 1. As you can see, Houston is having rain, but Dallas is not. This front will eventually head southeast. Day 2 looks like this. And here's day 3. Our temperatures are getting warmer, and our skies are clearer.
Based on these weather maps, can you predict what the weather will be tomorrow? Do you think I'll be able to go outside?
Here's what I think tomorrow will look like for Texas. The weather will be perfect for going outside, maybe even the beach.
Do you think the weather will be the same in every state? What if I wanted to go skiing in Colorado? Could I go now?
Maybe you could do some investigating and plan your perfect vacation. See you next time.
Okay, alright, now make sure that you submit that Content Connections worksheet after you finish it. If you need to pause right now to finish it and replay parts of that video, you can. Now, as for the assignment this week, you're going to complete a weather log. There are more directions and information that you can find in the 4.8a assignment document on Google Classroom. Make sure you also complete your lesson MOL in Google Classroom in addition to your assignment. Your assignment is what's going to count for your grade for this lesson. Then your lesson extension, there is a 4.8a lesson extension activity that's also found on Google Classroom. It involves 3 open-ended writing prompts, so please make sure to use complete sentences as you write. Now, a review for today. The learner is going to measure and record changes in weather by creating a week-long weather log, which we accomplished through our science assignment for this week, which is looking at the weather for this week and observing what's going on outside, and then recording the changes in weather on that assignment. Make sure at the bottom of your assignment to make any notes about weird changes that might happen this week. See you guys next week. Bye!